Everyone, it's 𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗧 of Let's Talk About It. And
Tammy Warner.
nice to see you on this fairly nice day. Of course, we're recording this on Wednesday. This is going to be a two-part series. Any long videos we will do in two parts
Pick
uh,
them up.
for numerous reasons, just to break them up. Little housekeeping, of course, like, share, follow. Thank you for watching.
And thank
Um,
you for interacting and commenting. We really, really, really appreciate it. We want the input.
Correct. And I would also say, before you comment, watch the video. Don't
The
go
whole
off of
video. If you're going to
Don't go
comment
off of
on it,
something
please
that
watch
somebody
all of
else
it.
is saying. So watch the video. Um, so I had somebody ask, what is the point of this podcast? And clearly they haven't watched the podcast, or they
I think
would.
we explained it the very first one.
Right. So here we are. So what is the point of the podcast? As we all know, I ran for town board last year. And as we've mentioned a few times, it was completely Tammy's idea. And it's not always going to be about politics, but we will never run out of content
No.
with local government for sure. Like at the end of the month where we do as
Freestyle
team
video.
freestyle video. It has nothing to do with town politics. We're
And
about
not
some.
everything has to do with town politics. There's lots of stuff, that we can converse about that are about the community or have to do with our community or surrounding communities. It's all
Mhm.
information.
Exactly. And the political stuff, we're not trashing the town, we're not trashing people. We're just bringing you, for a lot of
Information
people.
that you're not getting.
Correct. And a lot of people don't have time to watch the board meetings, et cetera, and keep up. So we condense that for you, hit the highlights, what we think is important, give you the full story as best we can with the information that I can find. And the one thing that I do want to say though is I am so upset to keep hearing, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that because my voice doesn't matter. Craig
Right.
started talking the town, putting information out, getting information out to people. We're kind of carrying that torch in essence with Craig because now we're doing a deeper dive. And we had a really good turnout at the election. And I'm sorry if you felt that your voice didn't matter, but people notice. People notice how close it was and how divided the town is. What certain people are going to do about that, I don't know. But what we know is we want everyone involved. So please stop. It's so upsetting for me, for somebody that works so hard on our campaign, to see everybody falling
Yeah.
back.
Don't
You,
speak
no,
up because you are being heard. They may not be letting you know, but trust me, they're hearing us. They're hearing, they're watching, they're reading, whether they're responding or not. Trust me, put your voice out there.
yeah. So we need your opinions, just like with the survey. I can guarantee you we didn't even get 250 people to fill that out, which breaks my heart because you're absolutely right. You don't have a voice because you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. And I know it was really long, but I did it.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is portraying information to you that you're not going to hear otherwise. We want your voice, but it can't just be in our comments and to us. It needs to be to our town government, to our leaders of the town, so they understand how everyone is feeling. It doesn't have to be nasty. It just needs to be put out there. So, because if you're thinking it, maybe somebody else is thinking it.
Exactly.
So that's all I have to say about that. But just know it breaks my heart that I keep hearing that we don't have a voice. I thought that too, but guess what? Here we are.
I think this last election showed that although we did not it didn't go the way we would have wanted, there's definitely a voice.
Correct.
So, and the election results prove it.
Correct.
So don't back down from it.
I mean, and I want you to think about this. If I didn't have a voice, again, with the audit that's happening, I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back.
No, but
Um,
obviously the voice made a difference because we have an audit happening
and they are
that
finding
would
things.
not have happened. I don't care what anybody has to say. It absolutely would not have happened and pretty much was pushed against the whole way till the very end.
Well, yeah, right. So, thank you to Scout, Joanne, and Craig for pushing that through.
Absolutely.
And that's the point. We're not picking on anybody. We're not trashing anybody. We
Yep,
want things done right for the town
exactly.
and
Exactly.
transparent for the town, for you guys, so we know what's going on. So there's not so much confusion. Please, I'm begging you to have a voice.
And also, let's think about the future generations that we have here, okay? All these kids. Let's think about it. All your kids and stuff. I mean, it may not affect them right now, but this is going to be their future. What are you going to hand them as far as this community goes?
Right.
What do you want to hand them?
Correct. Which we're going to talk a little bit about that when I talk about the
Hmm.
bonds and stuff. But I'm sorry that you feel that your voice doesn't matter, but it does. And
Yes.
people need to hear it. Now is the time. Now is the time. Please. Okay. Tammy has put a list of events together. I tried to figure out how we could do a calendar on our Facebook page, and you can't really do it. You can
No.
do like a bunch of different events, but it's like you're inviting people to the events, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we're trying to find a way around that. But Tammy's got a list of events. The one question I have, Tammy, is the Legion breakfast on your list? All right, so Tammy's going to go over the list of events.
And these are just things that are happening in and around the area over the weekend. If you're looking for things to do, first off, if you're looking for a new restaurant to go to, apparently we have a new one that opened in East Greenbush, right on Columbia Turnpike. I'm probably going to say it so wrong. Um, Sen Cap. It's an Indian restaurant, and it just opened up. And I looked at the menu, and it actually looked like it had some really, really, really good food. So if
Nice.
you're looking for something different, that might be something to try. Friday night in Steventown Memorial Library has bingo. Why I don't have the time on that, I have no freaking clue, but apparently I didn't write the time on that. Friday at the Parkside Restaurant on West Housatonic in Pittsfield from 9 to 12, they have a band full burn. Friday at the Tavern on the A, they have at 6 p.m. a paint and sip.
And where's that?
That's in Pittsfield. And
Oh,
there's
that's right. It's like
also in
GAA.
Pittsfield, the Zion Church is having a German dinner. I don't have the time on that, but that's on Friday as well. Saturday, we have Woodlife Farms here local in town from 12 p.m. is doing Morgan's Famous brisket and a bunch of other goodies that are being made.
Jim Morgan is a very good friend of ours. He's
Hmm.
actually the one that fixed the Indian head. Joanne had contacted him. He makes amazing food. I think he's at Woodlife once a month.
Yep, there was quite the list of yummies that's going to be there.
Incredible. He's an incredible cook.
And that starts at 12. He'll start serving at 12. And then at 2 p.m., live music starts with Pug and John. And they're going to be playing till 5 o'clock. And that's at Woodlife Farms, right here in Lebanon Springs on Old Route 20. Also Saturday, if you don't want barbecue and you're looking for seafood, Balderdash Cellars, 81 State Road in Richmond, which isn't far. They're doing Cousin's Maine Lobster from 12 to 5. So if you're fancying seafood,
And I think that Cousin's Maine Lobster, I'm almost positive they were on Shark Tank, and I think Barbara Corcoran invested in their business.
I hear a lot about them. I'll tell you that much. For the kids, if you're looking for something Saturday, if you're looking for something a little more low key, Saturday at the Steventown Memorial Library, Rhonda's Reptiles will be there at 11 a.m. So she'll be there with all her critters for the kids. And then Sunday, the last day, we have a couple things. First off, we have at oh my God, I just wrote it too. Pause. Just wrote it. Saturday. Other side of Friday. What the frick? How did it disappear? Sunday. Oh, there we go. Okay, back at it. Sunday, at from 8 to 11, the American Legion is doing a breakfast. So if you're looking to catch some breakfast Sunday morning before you go out and do some things, that's a good choice. At 2:30 Sunday at Hillcrest Commons Nursing Home, they are having an Easter egg hunt. And I say, if you've got little ones, this is a double benefit. Not only will your kids enjoy it, but trust me, it will bring so much joy to the
To the,
residents of that nursing home to watch these little ones have a great time. Really, it does a lot for both. The kids love it, and those residents are going to love, the seeing the little ones and the joy. So that's pretty much all I have for this weekend for events, but that's a quite a wide variety for people to choose from.
there you
And if you
go.
know the times on those ones that I didn't have a time on it, anybody, feel free to
Let us
chime in.
know. So we got an email last week from 𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗧. And I do know that she sent this to the town board as well, as privilege of the floor, which wouldn't be until for a couple weeks. And when I read that, I actually I had to do a little self-reflection there for a minute. So Tammy's going to read that, but also next week, Katie and Tammy are going to be talking about our special subject next week for our freestyle. So
Yes.
super excited about that.
I'm going
Also
to
want to say we
contact
have
her again, um, either tomorrow or Friday, to set up a time when we can just kind of chit chat back and forth and lay out, some of the things that I would like, that input on that I know she's educated on.
correct. So let me
Keeping that
pause.
mental health thing going. It's very important.
What was I going to say? Oh, so we have four people, including me, that are going to be coming on the podcast to talk about their home-based business. Super excited about that.
Yes, very, very much.
So that'll be upcoming,
And
which
these are
is the whole
local,
point. And
all
hopefully,
local.
when you guys see that, you're going to want to come on.
Right. You'll see
And
it's painless. Trust me, it's painless.
it's painless.
All these are done. You're right in the comfort of your own home. It's so much easier when you're in your own home, you're in your own environment. You don't have a bunch of people, standing around you, staring at you. It's very easy. And
It's
once you
very good for
see,
us introverts.
yeah, and when you see how we behave when what doesn't make the, you'll see why there's no reason to be nervous.
No, no. All right, so Tammy, go ahead if you could.
Okay, the letter again is from 𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗧, and it says, "Good evening. I may be viewed as an opposing party by some members of the board, but I'm hopeful you will be open to what I have to say. I start with a simple reminder. The walls in the town hall are thin. Your microphones pick up everything, and body language speaks louder than words. On both sides of the political aisle, from our president down to our local board, ego has replaced empathy. There is an article in the House of Empathy that states by recognizing the difference between ego and empathy, individuals can create a more harmonious and supportive environment. This shift is crucial in today's competitive and collaborative work landscape, where understanding and caring for others' feelings are the key to fostering teamwork and effective problem solving. I encourage all of you to do some research. There is plenty out there about increasing empathy and letting go of your ego. Why is this important? We aren't having open conversations across the aisle. Opposing views, thoughts, feelings, inputs are not validated but quickly dismissed and or criticized. and or criticized. Opportunities for the majority of the board to bridge the divide have been avoided at all costs. This type of behavior has brought not only our country, but our town to where we are today, divided. If you can't see that, then I challenge you to look again. And if you still don't see it, you may be part of the problem and not the solution. There's a great book, How to Stay Humble, or How to Stay Human, in a fucked up world, where they talk about the three approaches of conflict resolution: isolation, dominance, and dialogue. The majority of our town board seemingly is going with domination strategy. Only the winner, only the winner's needs matter. I've sat on several boards and committees, and each of them strive for diverse representation, be it union affiliations, income levels, political affiliations, gender identity, and sexual orientation. The list goes on. They recognize the value in different perspectives. They even opened a dialogue with them. I ask that you do the same. If at if at any point while reading this or listening, you thought to yourself, I was voted into this position and this is what my constituents want, that's your ego speaking. No one on this board won by what would be considered a landslide, and you should represent the town, not you should represent the town, not just those that voted for you. Only representing a narrow majority hasn't done much for our town, for our country. What makes any of you think that it will work here? It's unfortunate that what the two political parties seem to have in common is the ability to create division. Seemingly, the only board member willing to listen to all sides is 𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗧, and I'd like to commend her for that. What you only when you only speak to your echo chamber, you are surrounded by opinions and information that reinforce your re-existing beliefs, leading to a narrow-minded perspective. Do better, New Lebanon. She also puts, I would have copied this to the New Lebanon board members on the email, but the website hasn't been updated. Respectfully, 𝗘𝗗𝗜𝗧. That is an excellent letter.
That is an excellent letter.
Excellent letter.
And speaking of emails, they're changing their email addresses to be, instead of at newlebanon.com, it's now like newlebanonnewyork.gov. So pay
Okay.
attention to that.
But yeah, because I know I've struggled at times, and Joanne has even been like, "Has it didn't come to me?" And I'm like, "Son of a gun, I don't know why." And I've struggled getting, so I'll send them to, like the personal email just so I can make sure it's getting to somebody.
Exactly. So kudos to Katie. Looking forward
Yes,
to
thank
having
you.
her.
Thank you for taking the time and the really a lot of thought into this letter.
Yeah, literally, when I read that, I had to self-reflect a little bit
Yeah,
myself, right?
I think we all should.
And Tammy and I actually kind of had a conversation about this before we got that email
Yep.
in a different matter, but
Yep.
um so yes, kudos to Katie. Thank you for that. All right, a couple other things just want to touch on. Let's talk about Milltown Capital. And do I have that? Did it print? I don't think it printed, which is a shame. But if you go to It's Pittsfield Tonight, my very good friend Michael Daly, if you remember, he is the one that interviewed me in front of Tilden's Monument
Mm-hmm.
during the election, did a whole thing on how many properties that Milltown Capital owns now. It's like over 400 properties in Berkshire County. They also own Bosque. They also own a lot of things. And I will tell you, I listen to everybody complain about the investors in town, but rest assured, Milltown will end up in Lebanon. And I do believe in an email that I saw last year, they have already talked to Daryl School. Oh, you didn't even know that, did you?
Yeah, you were telling me.
Oh, okay. So don't think that they're not going to come here because they're going to. So my
What would
point
you rather
is,
have? Somebody local? Your investment, investors in this being local people who live here and have to be part of this community and are part of this community, or no face at all corporation that runs it as a machine and doesn't give a crap. Trust me.
and if they start buying houses and they start buying properties and putting up affordable housing, it won't be affordable. There is one thing from the pilot program, the Room Enough for Both conservation housing. The one thing that Adam said to us is if you have investors that want to buy your trailer parks, do not let them.
Nope.
Do not let them.
Nope.
So,
It's happening in Maine. Like I said, it's happening in Maine, and these people are just fit to be tied, and rightfully so, because these big corporations have bought up they're buying up the trailer parks, and they're just making unbelievable jack up in the rent and the money, that they're and people can't afford it. People can't
correct.
afford it.
And if it's not Milltown Capital, it'll be somebody else.
Yep.
Rest assured, this is the one thing that I said during my campaign is the ball is rolling. If we got elected, we wouldn't be able to stop the ball from rolling, but we
No.
could slow it down. The ball is rolling. And what's going to happen is if we don't rein ourselves in here and our voices are heard, these capital investors that have more money than Tony and Josh and
Yep.
anybody else that you're worried about,
And don't care about you as people. You're not their community. You mean absolutely nothing to these people.
they will
That's a
take over.
fact.
And what you see now will not be here. It will be very commercialized.
Yep. Oh, you people
So,
don't want to pay this price for lot rent? Fine, we'll just kick everybody out and we'll build something there. And
well,
that's,
even, but not even that, just buying property and doing
yep,
whatever they want with it.
yep.
So, if you think that one of them won't buy where OTB and the Gallup where OTB was and the Gallup Inn is and blow that out and blow something that you don't want to see there, you're wrong. You're wrong. You got to think ahead.
You got to look at the bigger picture of everything,
Correct.
where it's coming from all angles, because it's coming from all angles. And I'd
It's
rather
coming.
have
Make no mistake
someone in
about
the
it. It's coming.
community that lives here and, you can be face to face with. I have more faith and more trust in that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's coming.
Mhm.
But I do recommend that it's not on Pittsfield tonight. It's on his personal page. I don't know if it's public. I'll post it though. I thought I printed it out because I wanted to read it. Quick touch on the backpack program. Thank you for your donations. Tammy and I and some other people are going to try to get a fundraiser together for the backpack program. It's important to know the backpack program for food insecure kids is not government funded. It is
Government
funded
is
by
not involved.
government's not involved, not government funded. It's ran by donations only.
Right.
So please, it doesn't matter if it's $10, if it's $100. Um, I think so. There's 2,270 for $79 in donations, but that aren't isn't all from us. There was
Right.
some
Because there
before that.
was
I think
before
we're at
that.
like 17 or 1,800. Goal is 5,000. Bigger goal is
I
9,000.
have some feelers out a few places too.
Awesome, awesome. And then I also was
We
uh
have some other things in the works too, but not everything is.
right. I did get contacted by Samantha Long and Rob Long in regards to the high schoolers. The high schoolers need personal products, toothpaste, deodorant.
Yep.
I would imagine for girls, tampons,
Shampoo,
pads,
conditioner, all that stuff.
snacks, hair stuff.
Body
So
wash.
yeah, whatever, right? So there is in the main entrance to the school, I think down by where the high school is, there is when you walk in, there is some shelves with some stuff. So you can either put it there or Samantha and Rob's on the Board of Education. So they're gonna put out a bin in front of their house. Most people know where they live. You can drop it off there and Rob or Samantha will bring it over to the school. So let's do this, right?
Another way to, another way though, and again, we have a few other ways to help that are available to help out folks in the community. We have the community refrigerator,
Which is
which
at
is
the
at the
community
community
center.
center.
There's also in front of Mavericks, Trader Joe's. People go down and pick up the stuff from Trader Joe's. The thing with that is there's no set date. But
Right.
there's
It's kind of like, yeah, if you hear about it, get down there.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
and I
again,
do,
it's for everybody.
correct, correct. And I do think that Maverick still has a refrigerator inside, but I don't think there's a lot in it because a lot of the stuff is going to the community center now.
I thought they moved it to the community center from Mavericks.
I don't think so. I think
Oh,
it's
you,
two
you know,
se
you,
I think it's two separate
oh, okay.
entities. Also, Charlie's Pantry. Georgette does Charlie's Pantry. You do have to be a resident of town, and I think they're only open on Saturdays. Um, I'll get some more information on Charlie's Pantries. So great job on the
And
backpack
again,
program.
I'll tell you, back when Jeremy and I, again, when we were, just starting out, teenagers, we had a young child. We hit Charlie's Pantry. We did. We went there and got stuff when we were young. Absolutely. There is no shame. People, I wish people wouldn't feel, but I understand there are things out there that do present themselves that make people feel a certain way. But I hope nobody feels that way because there's not one of us that at any moment hasn't or could not be in a situation where they need help.
Exactly.
And I would hope that if I need it, the help is there for me. And if you need it, I'm able to help you. And,
Exactly.
it's a simple thing. There's no
And
shame.
correct. And if you're going to send a check, if you send a check to the regional food bank, which by the way, the regional food bank is a 5013 A or B, I can't remember. It is a charitable contribution. You can write it off. But if
Mm-hmm.
you send a check, make sure you put New Lebanon on it so it goes to our school and not to the big pot.
Yep.
And I will put up that link again. All right, now on to some town stuff. If you are a town employee, please double check your W-2. There has been at least two people that I know of that their W-2s did not show taxes on. Showed what
Right.
they made, but not the taxes. So those were blank. And we know that there's been ongoing payroll problems, W-2 problems. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are a town employee, double check that.
Yes. Make sure.
It just mind blown to me. Um, and speaking of that, the auditor, his name is Stanley. He is usually in the town hall every day unless he's got other things to do or go to the comptroller. As a taxpayer, you can talk to him. I wouldn't, I mean, he's really busy, so I wouldn't, if you have a
Specific.
specific concern, you could go up and see him. I don't know that he'll tell you any information, but if you have a legitimate concern, he's there. And also, I will say that I do believe that I don't have concrete facts, but based on what happened in the special meeting yesterday, they have special meetings on Tuesdays now to approve town highway bills for this whole fire insurance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the money did come in for the equipment replacements, which was like 670,000 ish dollars. But highway superintendent is he's got things to pay out that the money hasn't come in from the insurance yet. So they're going to do a budget amendment out of that equipment money and put it towards the other things that he needs to be paid. And then when that comes in, that'll be replaced.
Right.
And one of the town board members said, should we check with him, which pointing towards the kitchen where Stanley is, should we check with him to make sure we can do that? And the supervisor said it's just a budget amendment, but she will check with Stan, which tells me there are things that are coming up based on that response. I'm
Yep.
not surprised. But again, it will be a public report when it's all said and done. So the town and everybody knows what that was, and I'll be very surprised if it's done by the end of this year, depending on how far back he's got to go or wants to. And speaking of that, somebody asked me to asked us to, contacted me in regards to us talking about current lawsuits against the town. There are two involving Samantha Long and one that we're not going to discuss because that's not public at the moment. And once you know, then you'll know why. So I don't have her first lawsuit, which went on appeal and it's back up. I do have the paperwork for her second lawsuit. I think probably the most astounding thing to me is that our town supervisor told her to sue the town because insurance would pay for it. And if the supervisor was ever questioned about it, she would deny it. But there's more stuff in there. But while I was trying to see if there were other public documents like that first one, as well as the court case that we're not going to talk about right now, I came across tax warrants, payroll tax warrants, and they were for unpaid unemployment insurance. And I do know that I had found that, and I brought it up. I think it was in person in a privilege of the floor. I don't know if it was 23 or 24. Town supervisor said it was like a one-time thing. It won't happen again. However, I'm really concerned about our accountant. Like, I don't understand. So there was a second quarter 2023 tax warrant was issued on 1/26/24 for $1,136.79, which tells me they underpaid it. But pay attention to those dates. The warrant was issued on January 26, 2024. Town never paid it until August 5th, 2024. A fourth quarter 2023 tax warrant for 990.89. Again, this does include fees, penalties, but not much. So tax warrant fourth quarter 2023 for $990.89. Again, something I would say that was underpaid. The tax warrant was issued on February 9th, 2024. That bill wasn't paid until August 5th, 2024. So you have 7, 8 months between those tax warrants and the time that they were paid.
So long.
It's a little disturbing. Okay, so first quarter 2024, $7,145.42. Tax warrant was issued on May 28th, 24. Based on that amount, I would say that was a non-payment, not an underpayment. That didn't get paid until September 3rd, 2024. There was a tax warrant issued on 8/23/24 for $10,688.30. That was paid on 10/11/24. So if you look at 2024, okay, so there's 10/6, 17, 18, roughly. Again, I don't have to take my shoes off to do math, so I can use my toes. But we'll say there's like 18, 19, $20,000 that all the tax warrants in 2000 were in 2024. And we couldn't pay them until August, September, and October. And I also do know that in 2024, we were $600,000 in the hole. But it's disturbing. Granted, that was 2 years ago, but there's ongoing financial problems. Payroll, our accountant does our payroll. We know there's problems with W-2s. We know that there's been many, many problems with payroll. And now these taxes, right? I am going to FOIL request the New York State 45 documents to see what's going on with that. I know some of that will be redacted because it probably has employees' names on it. But it's very concerning to me,
Absolutely.
as it should be to everyone else. All right. So this is the end of our part 1 video. In part 2, tomorrow we're going to talk about bonds, project managers, the long-lasting effects, as well as the school budget.
Again, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, watch the video. Got you a bunch of things on there. I'm going to be taking my butt to Salem, going with the kids.
So go on the New Lebanon Central School District website, click on budget information, and it has PowerPoint presentations. It has definitions, which I love this. The town needs to do this, and maybe we'll do it for the town. Who knows? As well as a summary of each segment. So if you want to follow along, I've already looked at all of that. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So thanks for joining us for this short one, and we'll see you tomorrow.